Hi everyone. So today we will discuss about some basic difference between regression testing and retesting. So let's take an example. Suppose you have 100 test cases and you start executing those 100 test cases and you found that there are 10 defect. You log those defect and assign it to developer. Developer fixes those defect and send back to you. So, what is retesting? Retesting is to check these failed 10 test cases. And what is regression? Regression testing is to check the remaining test cases, that is 90 test case, which are working fine earlier. So, the intention of regression testing is to check whether my existing or previously working test cases are working fine or not. So that is called regression testing. Now we'll see the difference between regression as well retesting. The first difference is regression testing is carried out to confirm whether a recent program or code change has not adversely affected existing feature. It means to say our 90 test cases. And the next is retesting. Retesting is carried out to confirm the test cases that failed in the final execution are passing after or not. So in retesting we will check those failed test cases. The purpose of regression testing is that new code changes should not have any side effect on existing functionality. So existing functionality was 90 test cases that were working fine, but right now we will be checking those 90s are not adversely impacted or affected by this code change. Now retesting is done on the basis of defect fix. Whatever we fix, then we need to check those fixed defect, that is retesting. Defect verification is not the part of regression. Obviously we will not check the defect or not verify the defect. We will be checking the existing working test cases or functionality. Defect verification is the part of retesting. Next is regression testing. Based on the project availability of resource, regression testing can be carried out parallel with retesting. Obviously, I mean, if you have two member in your testing team, then you can one member can test these failed test cases and second member can do the regression testing. So these are the parallel activity that we can perform. But in case of retesting, we have to prioritize the higher than regression testing, obviously. So the first priority is to retest, a second is regression. Because if our failed test cases that was not fixed or that is not fixed, then what is the need of doing regression testing? Next is you can automate for regression testing. Manual testing can be expensive. So in regression testing, checking, currently we have 90 test cases, it could be 900 test cases. So checking those 900 test casing is very tedious task for manual testing. So that's why regression is always automated. But in case of retesting, you cannot automate these retesting test cases. Regression testing is known as generic testing, and this is regression is generic and retesting is planned. Regression testing, next is regression testing is done for past test case and retesting is done for failed. So for failed test case we'll do re, and for past test case or already passing test case we'll do regression testing. Regression testing checklist for unexpected side effect, and retesting makes sure that original fault has been corrected. The last difference is regression testing is only done when there is any modification or change, but retesting execute a defect with the same data and same environment and same input on a new build. and where we have defect fixes. So this is all about regression testing and retesting. A quick recap is like, if we need to check what is retesting and regression testing, then we can simply answer like, if I have 100 test cases, and while executing those 100 test cases I found 10 test cases are failing, 90 are passing, I raise defect and assign it to developer fixes those defect and send us a new build. In this build we will be checking those 100 test cases again, but first of all we will be checking those 10 test cases. That is all, that is called retesting. Re means again testing those failed, and regression is remaining test cases, those were working fine previously, are they still working fine or not? That is like regression testing. So thank you for watching. Happy testing. Please subscribe the channel, as I have seen you guys go through the videos but do not subscribe. So please guys subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching. Happy testing.